Hi everyone, my name is Esredu, the man with the deepest voice. So on today's reaction video, Jordan Peterson leaves audience speechless. Bro, I badly want us to check this particular footage out. So without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, please sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this beautiful piece. Let's go!
Hey, Jordan Peterson!
These people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know very well. What that means is that you see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life.
There's
always people out there who are doing far better than you on pretty much anything you want to imagine. And if all you're doing is seeing yourself in their reflected light, let's say, then it's going to be pretty damn dismal. But it's not a good comparison because, well, first of all, there's danger in just comparing yourself to others, period, because they're not you. And God only knows what struggles they had to undertake to get to where they were, or what burdens they're currently carrying that you're not aware of. But you can certainly contrast yourself with yourself, and that's a lot better. It is the only way. Well, it's also the only way of really measuring anything approximating proper improvement. You can actually tell when you're a little better than you were yesterday.
Right, that's true.
And you can actually do that. That's another thing that's so interesting about it, is that you can actually make yourself a little better in some way, pretty much, well, I don't know if it's at every moment, but you can certainly do it every day. Be careful who you share good news with, because you want to share good news with people who are going to be genuinely happy for you, and be careful who you share bad news with, because that's equally tricky. You want someone who will listen to you when you're having trouble and allow you your grief. Beauty calls people to their higher being, I would say, and to make friends with beauty is to introduce yourself very carefully to one of the mysteries of life that make it worth living. There's never been a better time for the majority of people to be alive, and the future, although we're vulnerable and terrible things can always happen to us, it's hard to make a case that the future doesn't look comparatively positive. We're becoming extremely technologically sophisticated, and the world is changing at an incredibly rapid rate, and the only way we're going to be able to manage that in a positive way is if each of us, or as many of us as possible, are capable of making wise and careful and truthful decisions. And if we do that, then maybe things can continue to improve. You don't get people to stand up on their own 2 feet and to adopt responsibility if everything is given to them. And that's a real conundrum.
One funny thing is, I didn't really want to make any video today, I'm a little under the weather and my voice has been affected in one way or the other. So I don't know, after taking my breakfast, I didn't want to do any video. But I felt like, sharing this particular motivation piece with you. Because it's something very beautiful. It's something solid. What Jordan is actually saying in this particular footage is nothing but the truth. It is the gospel fact. Let me simply put it that way. Constantly we keep comparing ourselves to other people. Instead of us trying to be better versions of who we were yesterday, but we rather keep comparing ourselves to people outside, which is very wrong, bro. Which is something very wrong. It sometimes even saddens me the most when I see or hear parents comparing their wards or children to their mates. People will go like, can't you see this particular person? He's been able to do this, he's been doing this. Bro, stop that comparison, you understand? You even end up, demotivating the young ones. Sometimes you don't even know what that particular person had to go through or endure to be where he is today. Me as a person, trust me, I compete with no one. I compete with no one. I'm always interested in being a better version of myself. I keep working hard on myself. I keep working hard, investing in myself, trying my possible best to be better than I was yesterday. Because trust me, a journey of 10,000 miles always begins with a step. And wherever determination lies, failure can never dismantle the flag of success. I know where I'm going. I know what I want to achieve in life. So I will never compare myself to anybody born of a woman. Trust me. We should always go by, a similar principle in life if we badly want to achieve our goals or aims. And in the course of watching this particular footage, there was a time when Jordan Peterson made mention of you being careful of who you do share your news with, whether good or bad. Trust me, not all people are genuinely happy for you. Sometimes we may want to share the good things in our life with people close by, people we genuinely love, that we do think they also love us. But bro, not everyone is genuinely happy for you. I normally prefer, working hard in silence so that my success will make all the noise out there. Let's learn to be secretive a little. Let's learn to be secretive. Trust me, as I said previously, I didn't want to make any video today because I'm a little under the weather and my voice has been affected in one way or the other. I'm actually struggling talking to your wonderful people out there, but I badly wanted to share this particular piece with you. I watched it for the very first time. I loved it. I love the content of it, and I thought of it wise to share with your wonderful people out there. Let's not talk, my ladies and gentlemen. Let's proceed.
Maybe you're in California, see someone speeding down the road in a convertible Porsche, and you think, oh man, what a lucky bastard. And the truth of the matter is that he's thinking about wrapping his expensive sports car around the next cement pillar that he comes close to. You can't tell, and people have hard lives, and even people who are comparatively fortunate have hard lives. And the ideal that you're observing that makes you jealous and resentful is in large part an illusion that's created by your own mind. You have to be careful of what you're jealous of because you don't really know what it is. And then the other thing that's kind of useful is to understand you're quite different from other people, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to them because they're not like you. They don't have your family. They don't have your temperament. They don't have your troubles. They don't have your abilities. The only person that has those is you. One of the rules, I think it's rule 4, is compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to who someone else is today.
That's true.
See, that's a game you can win. The possibility that you can make yourself slightly better on a continual basis I think that's something that's accessible to everyone. I think that's equivalent to leading a virtuous life. And there is something to be said for virtue and truth. And that is another thing that I've noticed about people who've been phenomenally successful is that they really do everything they can to live a truthful life. And you can get a bloody long ways by being honest. You got to know that there are differences in intelligence. It's really important. If you go into a job and you're not smart enough for that job, you're going to have one bloody miserable time. And you're going to make life wretched for the people around you because you won't be able to handle the position. But what you really want to do, as far as I can tell, if you want to maximize your chances for both success and let's say well-being, is you want to find a strata of occupation in which you would have an intelligence that would put you in the upper quartile. That's perfect. Then you're a big fish in a small pond. And you don't want to be the stupidest guy in the room. It's a bloody rough place to be. And you probably don't want to be the smartest guy in the room either, because what that probably means is you should be in a different room. If you want to be the best at what you're doing, bar none, then having an IQ of above 145 is a necessity, and maybe you're pushing 160 in some situations, and maybe that's making you one person in 10,000 or even one person in 100,000. And then also, to really be good at it, you probably have to be reasonably stress tolerant and also somewhat conscientious. Why is it that smart people are at the top of dominance hierarchies? And the answer to that, in part, is because they get there first. Right? I mean, everything's a race, roughly speaking, and the faster you are, the more likely you are to be at the forefront of the pack, and intelligence in large part is speed. That's not all of it is. So if you're moving towards something difficult rapidly, the faster people are going to get there first. You're going to have to put some effort into your life, and you need to be motivated to do that. And so what are the potential sources of motivation? Well, you could think about them in the big 5 manner. If you're extroverted, you want friends. If you're agreeable, you want an intimate relationship. If you're disagreeable, you want to win competitions. If you're open, you want to engage in creative activity. If you're high in neuroticism, you want security. Okay, so those are all sources of potential motivation that you could draw on, that you could tailor to your own, your own personality. But then there are dimensions that you want to consider your life across. And so we ask people about, if you could have your life the way you wanted it in 3 to 5 years, if you were taking care of yourself properly, You know, what would you want from your friendships? What would you want from your intimate relationship? How would you like to structure your family? What do you want for your career? Well, how are you going to use your time outside of your job? And how are you going to regulate your mental and physical health, and maybe also your drug and alcohol use, because that's a good place to auger down. And that tangles in your incentive reward system. You know, we talked about the dopaminergic incentive reward system, and that's the thing that keeps you moving forward. And the way it works is that it works better if it produces positive emotion when it can see you moving towards a valued goal. Okay, well, what's the implication of that? Better have a valued goal, because otherwise you can't get any positive motivation.
Nah, honestly, Jordan is just an amazing psychologist. I ain't kidding. He's just an amazing psychologist. He said something which really caught my attention. That you shouldn't be the dumbest person in the room. Neither should you be the smartest person in the room. Or trust me, if you're the dumbest person in the room, you ain't gonna be happy. You know, people will end up, stepping on you day in and out. But if you're able to, up your game a little, to be the smartest person in the room, now that is a clear indication that you deserve more than your current, position or situation. That will, in the long run, even compel or push you to work harder for you to start aiming for bigger things in life. So in the long run, you will end up leaving your present situation or location, whereby you happen to be the smartest person in the room, to end up, competing with other people in your league this time. You understand? Like, one beautiful thing is, life in itself is a systematic process. You shouldn't be stressing yourself too much because you are here. If you're able to put in much work, trust me, bro, you're definitely gonna be there. And if you don't give up, and you still keep pushing harder, you're definitely going to be up there. One television series I've loved over the years is the one titled Suits. Yeah, I personally love, law-related stuff. Yeah, Suits has got to do with law. Yeah, Steve Harvey, Mike Ross. I'm very positive if actually, watch that particular series here. Steve Harvey normally says something like, I'm here and you are there. Trust me, Steve wasn't just, brushing it over the face of Mike Ross. He, sometimes he wanted Mike to know his place, so that if he also wants to be up there are certain things he got to do to be up there. You understand? So if you are here, trust me, with determination and hard work, you're definitely gonna be there. Like, dude is just an amazing psychologist. I recently started listening to him, and trust me, I love certain things that comes out of his mouth. Normally a whole lot of people will be amazing in what they do, but sometimes when we put the camera on them, they start saying a lot of trash. Like, they start saying a lot of trash. And one beautiful thing is, Jordan Peterson ain't one of such people. He's just amazing. He's just phenomenal. Like, I love this man. I love this man.
Most creative people fail at producing their creative product and monetizing it, right? So your default position, if you're a creative person, is you're going to fail. And that's because it's hard to come up with something new, and it's hard to present it to the market at the right time, and it's hard to market it. Like, those things are really, really difficult. And so what successful entrepreneurs do is they just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And eventually, if they're fortunate, one of their ideas happens to hit the right place at the right time. Even if your idea is good, that doesn't mean it will be successful. There's so many things that have to be taken into account. So this is partly why persistence, and that's part of conscientiousness, is so useful. It's like, persistence is helpful because it enables you to run many, many experiments. And you need to know that the baseline is failure. It's important, because otherwise you'll blame that on yourself. And some of that's useful because there's probably some things that you could improve about yourself. But it's very difficult to go from 0 to 1.
Change your life, chase your dreams. I love that caption. Yeah. So as I said previously, I had no intention of creating any content today, since I'm a little under the weather and my voice has been affected in one way or the other. But trust me, I felt like motivating you today. Consistency is the key. And I really share in that, vibe from Jordan Peterson. Let me quickly cite myself as an example here. I've been creating a lot of content on YouTube for some time now. Consistency is indeed the key. Sometimes there's this particular video that you think you were able to put in so much effort. It is just beautiful. It is just exciting. You personally think that the audience are going to love it. But bro, at the end of the day, you wouldn't be able to amass a large number of views. But sometimes the video that you least expect will end up going viral. It's all about consistency. What it is that you are doing this morning? Are you trying new recipe to come out with an amazing restaurant? Bro, don't give up, you understand? I'm not here today to bore you with so much talk like J.K. Rowling had his Harry Potter book rejected by a whole lot of publishing companies before she finally got the breakthrough. Colonel Sanders, blah blah blah. Bro, personally, I'm bored with that story. We've heard it over and over again. But one beautiful thing is that it is now time for you to be that story for the next generation. You understand? It is now time for you to be the story for the next generation. It is now time for you to be the motivation for the next generation. It is now time for you to be the voice for the next generation. And how do you do this? Just don't give up. Keep doing it, and trust me, your breakthrough moment is just at the corner. You can bear witness to the fact that Jordan Peterson made mention of something. That if you end up being consistent, definitely one of your creative product or process will find itself at the right place at the right time. And that is where your breakthrough moments will come in. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't bore you with so much talk. Yeah, personally, I'm actually struggling saying whatever it is that I got to say, because I'm a little under the weather, as I made mention previously. So one thing I humbly want to say is that I really appreciate you joining me on the content I do create. I really appreciate you supporting this particular channel from day one. Well, my name is Eturedu, and I still maintain my title as the man with the deepest voice. We just reacted to a beautiful motivation piece from Jordan Peterson. So if you love the content I do create, or if you love what I do, and you badly want to be part of this beautiful family, do want to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and keep your comments coming. Peace.